All right, welcome to Friday Night Live. We are sponsored by Craig Fail, the owner of Blackbridge Financial in the Palisades. Blackbridge Financial specializes in wealth management services. So if you need some help managing your money, make sure you reach out to Craig and his team, and they'll take good care of you down there in the Palisades. All right, round four of the playoffs. Man, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Tonight, we were me and producer Brandon Black were up at Huff as they hosted West Charlotte in the state semifinals in the 8A bracket. And man, I tell you, first of all, it was cold. All the talk going on between these two schools for months. Of course, they had the expected pregame meeting at the 50-yard line with the talking back and forth, so forth and so on. But there was nothing really big besides that in the pregame. Um, really, to be honest with you, Huff dominated the game, once it kind of got a hold of a couple of mishaps on the West Charlotte side of things. It really started out as a 0-0 battle at the end of the first quarter. And then the second quarter, Huff offense took advantage of a bad punt snap by West Charlotte, gave them the ball on the 25-yard line. They were able to punch that in with the Ethan Royal short touchdown run set up by a nice pass play, a wheel route out of the backfield by Huff running back Boogie Morrison, got the ball down very close to the goal line. And then Ethan was able to punch it in for a 7-0 lead. That was the score at halftime. Second half, the Huff defense was able to force an interception, got the ball around midfield. They were able to drive down and then score on a nice touchdown pass from Royal to Jaden White. That made it 14-0. And then from there, the Huff defense really turned the screws on. They kept pressuring West Charlotte's offense. And, quarterback Jamori Nichols really didn't have a chance to really operate and find stuff downfield. Huff got the ball back again in good field position. They got a field goal, went up 17-0. And then continue to put pressure on West Charlotte. They couldn't get anything going consistently, driving the football down the field. And then the closer was a big 66-yard touchdown run by Boogie Morrison off the left side. It's really good blocking by the offensive line, and I think Morrison ran through a couple of guys on the West Charlotte defense that made the final margin 24-0. A well-deserved celebration after the game. Huff really went out there and earned it. They earned the title of the Kings of the Queen City, or Kings of Charlotte, however you want to call it. I just now put up interviews we did with Coach Deshaun Baker, the head coach, and defense coordinator Chacha Sullivan. Those interviews are up on our Facebook page. We'll get those out to Instagram and Twitter right after this show. So if you want to see them now, go on the Facebook page, check them out. They were entertaining. If you're a Huff fan, you'll really enjoy them. I'll put it that way. But yeah. So big crowd. I mean, it was a sellout, and everyone who had a ticket, showed up. It was full on both sides. But as far as an exciting game, it really wasn't that, and that's mainly because Huff really just showed their dominance, especially on defense throughout the game. Huff is going to face Millbrook, who beat Hoggard on the other side of the bracket, 14-7, I believe was that final score. So we'll get that in 2 weeks, roughly. It'll be on a Thursday. And I don't know if they've announced the site. I think I heard it was Chapel Hill, but I don't know if that's been officially announced yet. But it'll be a Thursday championship game on December 11th. So 8A and 1A have byes next week, and then they'll play their championship games on that Thursday the next week. So got a little bit of time off for Huff and Millbrook to get ready for this one. Little unique as far as the going into the championship game goes, but more time gives you time to heal up and really study your opponent. So it should have some really good and well played games in both 8A and 1A in the championship rounds. All right, so let's take a look. We got some comments in. Let's see what you guys want to talk about tonight. Karen Belk is here with the sad faces. Yep, and over 5,000 at wedding. Wow, that's impressive. But unfortunately for Karen and Independence fans, they were not able to pull it out. Weddington winning that game 21-6 on the strength of a number of turnovers they were able to force against the Independence offense by reports that I've received. But, it was a valiant effort, Independence defensively, even though with those turnovers, keeping them in the game, giving, the offense a chance to try to get back in it. I believe that score was 7-3 at halftime. So more of a low scoring defensive kind of game, which, you get to these rounds and you got so much talent on both sides of the ball. Defense typically, will kind of keep you in it and kind of show as the strength, for these well-coached teams. But congratulations to Coach Capone and those guys down at Weddington. Really well-coached bunch with a lot of talent on both sides of the ball. They're going to go on and they're going to face Grimsley, who defeated Reagan 24-7 tonight. So a bit of a rematch. Those teams have faced off, a few times over the years. And I see the comments coming in. But those two teams have faced off a few times throughout the years. And there's not going to be a lot of secrets between, what those guys do. We saw it last year. The big key is going to be, a quick preview. Weddington getting pressure, of course, on Faison Brandon and trying to disrupt what they do in the passing game. I think they'll have a good shot of slowing down the running game. Not the same, kind of back. Obviously, Mitchell Summers was a really, really special guy. But they're effective in the run game. So we'll see. I think Weddington producing on offense consistently is going to be the big key. Can they keep up when Grimsley is going to score? Because they're going to score. You're not going to shut Grimsley out. But can you produce enough offense to keep up with them? It's going to be the big thing in that one. All right. Back to the comments. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Hey, Mr. Mitchell. Yeah, congratulations, man. I don't know. Were you on the field? I didn't see you after the game. I know it kind of got crazy with all the fans coming on, the families of fans coming onto the field after Huff won. But yeah, if I did see you, let me know because I was talking to a lot of people. I didn't get names for everybody. So let me know, man. Trayvon Gaither, this one was really surprising, man. Did not see Northern Guilford putting 39 up on Ashbrook. That was not something that we thought was going to happen here. And I have to go back and watch the film and see exactly what happened here. I mean, Northern Guilford is a really good team there. I mean, like we said on the show, they're number 2 seed for a reason, but they must have found something in that Ashbrook defense to really, really take advantage of, especially to be up 39 at halftime. That is shocking. That is shocking. I mean, it was a great season for the Green Wave. And, one of the things we talked about was the way they've been able to impose their will and play that grinding style. And Northern Guilford just said, well, we're not going to let you get there. And, when you play those kind of teams that do that, if you get them, in a big deficit and take them out of their comfort zone, it's lights out, and that was what was the case here. But great season for Coach James and the Green Wave, but they ran into a buzzsaw up in Northern Guilford, man. They're gonna go on and face Watauga. Watauga got by Sun Valley tonight, 31-28 in a great football game. We hate to see Sun Valley go out, but Watauga's a really, really good football team, and they showed it. So we'll see if Northern Guilford can go up to Watauga and knock them off next week. Oh, we got Sports Guru 803. Yeah, is that our? I think that's our Clover guy. It's a different name. 2 state championship rematches: Northwestern versus Irmo and Dutch Fork versus Somerville. Yeah, Tommy Knotts, man, what a guy, man. And it was funny. We were talking about this. Me and Brandon were talking about on the sideline with Irmo and Northwestern, how great of a game that was last year, and to see it again. It's going to be interesting to see if Coach Brand can get that state championship. We're definitely pulling for him. We supported him advance all those years, and we'll see if he can go get it done this time, man. But thanks for that information right there. Our boy Joe talking about some turkey sandwiches. Yeah, I got some turkey in there. I need to dig into myself. For sure. Let's see. Karen's got Brevard 49, Pisgah 28, and they got Maiden next. Yeah, Maiden beat High Brighton. I think it was 29-28. So shout out to Shannon Wingate Jr., Queen City Senior Bowl selection. I know he probably played a big part in that one. But Brevard moves on. That's going to be a fun one to watch. I think Maiden has some ability like Burns did when they gave Brevard a good run a couple weeks ago. So that'll be a good one to keep an eye on too. All right. So Joe's got Shelby 43, Eastern Randolph 41. Wow. Golden Lions survived Eastern Randolph and the Rams. Yeah, these playoff crews, man, we love the officials, we love the referees, but sometimes you're going to get, a little implicit bias. Let's just put it that way. But no, that's a great win for Shelby. Eastern Randolph, they're a high seed, they're at home. They were going to play tough, and they got some guys that can make some plays. But, we said Shelby go in there and play their style. Offensively, we didn't think Eastern Randolph could slow them down, which, obviously 43 on the board. They didn't get a lot of stops there. But the playoffs is all about survival, moving on, winning and advancing. And Shelby did that. And they're going to get a rematch against Lincolnton in the regional final. Ain't that something? A 10 versus an 8 in the same place. Wow, that's a fun one, man. That I don't know if I'm gonna cover a game next week because I'll be coming back from vacation, but that'd be on the short list because that second game, if it's as good as the first one, that's gonna be a heck of a regional final right there in 3A West. That is. All right, we got Jamel Brewster. Huff is the best team in the Carolinas, North and South. Well, I mean, you can lay claim to it right now. That's for sure. We got one more to go, though. And, they'll tell you that. All the coaches will tell you that over at Huff. But so far, yeah, I mean, the way South Point's playing in the playoffs, which we hadn't really talked that much about, but they won again. They beat Westside. And they're rolling. I believe they got their state championship coming up too. And I'd say it's Rock Hill, South Point. I'm sorry, I need to specify that. But they're rolling down there too. So, you might have a really good claim there once you start looking at the analytics of it. Let's see here. Elon's crazy night. Let's see what one made it crazy. Let's see here. Huff way or no way. Yep. I mean, go check out them interviews when you get a chance. Let's see. Yeah, we just talked about Shelby. Yeah, congrats to the Golden Lions. Impressive stuff for sure. Some of these comments I can't put up here. Yep. The Wave did not do well up in Northern Guilford for sure, man. They really didn't. But still a great season. Still a great season for sure. Let's see here. We got well, I'll let y'all talk amongst yourselves. I like that. Let's go through some scores. Let me get that on the screen here. Let's get that on there. Let's get it on there. There we go. Okay. All right, so we got Weddington over in Independence. We talked about 21-6. We haven't talked about it, but J.M. Robinson, our friends in Concord, lost a tough one to Hickory, 36-29. Congrats to Coach Glass and the Hickory Tornadoes moving on. We'll look at the brackets too before we get off tonight. There's Northern Guilford over Ashbrook, as we talked about. Of course, we talked about Huff West Charlotte. Crest defeated South Point 28-14. Second time they beat South Point this season. They are going to face Hickory. So we got a Crest Hickory matchup next weekend. And that was a projection in that bracket, in the 5A West bracket. A lot of people are excited about that one. We got Lincolnton defeating West Davidson, who had their best season in recent history, 55-20. There's the Watauga Valley final, 31-28 we mentioned. Great season for Indian comes to an end. Northwestern gets the best of them, 51-19. There's South Point over West Side, 40-0. And then there's the Shelby score, and then there's Maiden over High Brighton. So let's take a look at the brackets here. We're going to go to that and go through these regional final matchups that we've got. All right. Well, in 8A, we'll take a look at it. We already mentioned it, though. We're going to have Millbrook against Huff for the state championship. There it is right there. See if I can make that a little bigger for you. There we go. So, yeah, we got Millbrook and Huff right there in 8A playing for a state title on December 11th. 2 weeks. 7A. Mention these regional finals. We're going to have – why are they coming in like this? I don't know why. When you try to make it bigger, anyway, it's the regional finals. In the East, you got Cardinal Gibbons against Clayton. And in the West, you got Grimsley against Weddington. All right, 6A, we're going to have Jacksonville in the East against Middle Creek, and then Watauga and Northern Guilford, as we mentioned earlier. 5A, if we get there. All right, we got Hunt on the East against Northside Jacksonville. In the West, we got Crest and Hickory. That game was going to be at Hickory because they are the higher seed as the 3. Rematch of last year up at Hickory when Crest went up there. All right, 4A. Our regional finals are going to be Reedsville and West Craven on the east side, and then Brevard and Maiden on the west side. So that could be an interesting state title game if the 1 seeds go through. It'd be a heck of a matchup. All right, 3A. Regional finals. We got James Keenan against the 14 seed Kinston. Interesting. And then there's that Lincoln and Shelby rematch at Lincolnton next week. That'll be a really, really fun one. All right, 2A. Our regional finals are Tarboro and Warren County, and then Murphy and Starmount. Murphy got past Corvian tonight, 49-40. Great season for Corvian as well. All right, and then in 1A, These are going to be the final is going to be Robbinsville against Wilson Prep. And a lot of people felt like Wilson Prep was going to be the one that came out of the East. They've been the strongest team all year long. You take a look at film and the opponents they've played, and that bore out tonight when their win over the 2 seed there. So should be a good state championship game. Great season for South Davidson as well. Their best season probably in school history, getting to the regional final, but losing to Robbinsville 41-7. All right, so that's what we got on those. And then our partner, the illustrious Brandon Billups, is talking about the interviews that I posted on Facebook. So if you're a Huff fan especially, you'll want to go check those out. And we'll have them out on Instagram and Twitter here pretty soon, right after this show. So once again, a shorter show tonight, obviously less games to talk about. A lot of our local teams, unfortunately, went out of the playoffs, but they had great seasons. But congratulations once again to the Huff Huskies for winning the big one against West Charlotte 24-0. And I'll have some pictures. We'll see how they came out. Our camera was kind of acting funny during the game. But we'll have some pictures out on our photo website here before the evening ends, and then we'll have some highlights tomorrow at some point. So yeah. Anybody else got something? Oh man, it's been a long week. Appreciate everybody watching, and our next show will be Sunday night. Because I will be on vacation all next week. So tune in Sunday night. We'll probably do it at 8:00, and we'll take a look at some of these other games that we just mentioned there in the bracket. So everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday night. Appreciate it.